When you enter a home, the entrance is more than just a doorway. It is a threshold between the outside world and your sanctuary, a passage where energies converge, where the vibrations of the world outside meet the calmness you wish to create inside. Many women, with ancient wisdom in their hands, understand the subtle power of salt. They place it at the entrance, not just casually, not just for tradition, but with the deep understanding that this simple element has the ability to protect, purify, and shield. Salt, in many cultures, has always been regarded as a sacred tool. Its presence is not just physical, but metaphysical. Its grains hold an ability to absorb negativity, to neutralize energies, and to create a protective barrier. Imagine the entrance to your home as a sieve, a filter through which only positive energies should pass. By placing salt here, women are actively creating a threshold that refuses negative energy from entering, refusing any unwanted vibrations from touching the heart of the home. But why salt? Why not any other substance? Salt is pure, elemental. It is the crystallization of nature's purity, an ancient gift that has stood the test of time. In a spiritual sense, it is a magnet for light. Wherever salt is placed, it absorbs darkness, it repels stagnation, and it creates a space where harmony can thrive. Think about your home right now. Consider all the stress, the conflicts, the chaotic energies of the outside world. Every moment, invisible waves of tension and unresolved emotions from society, neighbors, and even strangers are trying to enter your personal space. Your entrance is their first test. When salt sits quietly in a small bowl, or sprinkled thoughtfully in the corners of the entrance, it silently acts as a guard, silently absorbing all that is unwanted. It doesn't shout, it doesn't fight, it simply purifies and clears. Women who understand this knowledge often take it a step further. They replace the salt regularly. They cleanse it during full moons or whenever the energy of the home feels heavy. This is not superstition. It is a practice rooted in the understanding of energetic hygiene. Just as we wash our bodies to remove dirt and impurities, the environment too must be cleansed. Salt becomes the agent of this purification. But there is more. The act of placing salt is also a meditation. It is an intentional act that signals this home is sacred. This space is protected. This space will nurture life, joy, and peace. And when intention is combined with action, energy flows differently. You may not see it with the eyes, but you feel it with your being. Visitors step in and feel the calm. Family members move within the space, free from subtle tensions. The air feels lighter, almost as if the home itself breathes easier. Now consider the women who have passed this knowledge down. Grandmothers, mothers, wise women in communities. They all knew that the simplest element could wield the greatest power. And it's a reminder that sometimes protection does not require grand gestures. It doesn't need sophisticated technology or complex rituals. A small bowl of salt placed at the entrance with conscious intention can transform the energy of a home. And here is the final layer. Salt at the entrance is not just about keeping negativity out. It is also about inviting positivity in. When the negative is absorbed, there's room for harmony, for happiness, for love, for creativity, for health. Salt doesn't just act as a barrier, it acts as a bridge. Once the negative energy is neutralized, it opens the door for good fortune, for clear communication, for prosperous energy to flow freely into every corner of the home. So I urge you, when you think about the entrance to your home, don't just see a door, see it as the guardian of your sanctuary, and let salt be your silent protector. Place it with intention, replace it when needed, respect its power, and watch as the atmosphere of your home transforms quietly, profoundly, invisibly, yet unmistakably. Remember, true protection is not loud. It doesn't demand attention. It works quietly, persistently, like the wind shaping mountains over centuries. Salt at your entrance is your invisible shield, your energetic purifier, your invitation to peace, and the moment you embrace this practice, you are not just inviting safety, you are inviting a sacred rhythm into your life, a sacred rhythm that aligns you with the natural flow of the universe. The kitchen is the heart of the home. It is the place where life is nourished, where energy transforms into sustenance, and where family and loved ones gather around the warmth of food. But beyond the physical nourishment, the kitchen is also an energetic hub. Every meal prepared carries the intention of the one who cooks. Every action in the kitchen sends vibrations into the home. And this is why women, with their deep understanding of the hidden powers of everyday elements, place salt in specific corners of the kitchen, not merely as an ingredient but as a spiritual tool to purify, protect, and bless the energy of abundance. Salt, as we have already understood, is a purifier. It absorbs negativity, it neutralizes stagnant energy, and it restores balance. In the kitchen, these qualities become even more essential. The kitchen is a space of transformation. Raw ingredients are turned into meals. The fire of the stove, the heat of the oven, the chopping of vegetables all create a dynamic flow of energy. But if this energy is blocked or heavy, it can affect not only the food but the people who consume it. The energy of the kitchen becomes the energy of the family, and that is why salt is placed carefully, often in small bowls or scattered in hidden corners to maintain the flow of positive energy. When salt is placed in the kitchen, it is not just a protective measure, it is a declaration of intent. It says, this space is sacred. The food prepared here carries purity, love, and intention, and the act of placing salt is itself a meditation. Women who do this often do so quietly, consciously, understanding that every grain of salt is not just mineral, it is a vessel of intention. By consciously placing it, the cook aligns herself with higher energy, ensuring that the meals prepared are not only physically nourishing but energetically harmonious. The kitchen is also where abundance manifests. The pantry, the stove, the dining table, they are all symbolic of the flow of wealth and sustenance in life. If the energy in the kitchen is blocked or heavy, abundance may stagnate. Salt, in this context, acts like a silent energy magnet. It absorbs tension, it clears negativity, and it restores balance. It is as if each grain of salt carries a tiny light, radiating calm and clarity, ensuring that the kitchen remains a place where abundance flows freely. Think of the subtle dynamics in a kitchen. Perhaps there is stress, small arguments, or a lingering heaviness from a difficult day. These energies, if not addressed, accumulate. They linger in cupboards, on countertops, in the air. Salt has the unique ability to neutralize this. It does not fight, it does not resist. It simply absorbs and transforms, and by placing salt in strategic corners, near the stove, by the sink, in the pantry, the cook ensures that every dish prepared carries not just nutrients but also vibrancy, calm, and positive energy. Moreover, placing salt in the kitchen also encourages mindfulness. It reminds the cook to approach her work with intention, to be present, and to infuse love into the act of nourishment. Cooking, in this sense, is no longer a mechanical task. It becomes a sacred ritual, a form of meditation, a way to connect with the energies of the home and the universe. The salt silently supports this ritual, holding the space, maintaining purity, and protecting the flow of abundance. Another important aspect is the symbolic connection between salt and prosperity. Across cultures, salt has always represented value, preservation, and life. It is no coincidence that it is placed in kitchens, the space that literally sustains life. When women place salt in the kitchen, they are aligning themselves with the principles of natural abundance. They are declaring, consciously or unconsciously, that their home is a space of plenty, that life will be provided for, and that their family's nourishment will be protected. The placement of salt is not random. It is done with awareness. Often it is placed near windows where energy enters, near stoves where transformation occurs, or in cupboards where ingredients are stored. These placements are symbolic. Salt near the stove ensures the energy of transformation remains pure. Salt in cupboards ensures the abundance of stored resources remains untarnished, and salt by the windows ensures that incoming energy is cleansed before it mingles with the household. Every placement is thoughtful, deliberate, intentional. But let us go deeper. The kitchen is also a place where emotional energy is expressed. Cooking for loved ones is an act of care, but it can also carry emotions, stress, worry, joy, gratitude. These energies mix with the food, and while love and gratitude enrich the meal, negative emotions can disrupt the harmony of nourishment. Salt acts as a purifier, a stabilizer, a filter. It absorbs residual negativity and ensures that the energy within the food is balanced, harmonious, and life-affirming. There is also a ritualistic aspect. Some women replace the salt every few days, understanding that energy, like water, can become stagnant if left unaddressed. The act of replacing it becomes a moment of renewal, a practice of clearing and recharging the kitchen with fresh energy. In essence, the kitchen becomes a living, breathing space, maintained and aligned through small, consistent actions. Finally, the power of salt in the kitchen lies not in its visibility, but in its subtlety. You may not see its effects immediately, you may not feel it with your physical senses, but over time, the energy of the kitchen shifts. Meals are prepared with more ease. Family members feel lighter, more connected, more nourished, not just in body, but in spirit. Guests may notice a subtle warmth, a sense of comfort, a feeling of calm when they enter, and this is the silent magic of salt. So, remember, the kitchen is not merely a physical space, it is the heart of the home. And salt is not merely an ingredient, it is a sacred tool. By placing it thoughtfully, with awareness, women protect the energy of the home, purify abundance, and enhance the flow of nourishment, both physical and spiritual. Let this knowledge guide you, let it inspire you. And when you see a woman placing salt in her kitchen, know that she is not acting out of superstition but out of wisdom, a wisdom that has been passed down through generations, quietly, intentionally, and profoundly. She is creating a space where life thrives, where abundance flows, and where love and intention meet in every meal served. The bedroom is more than just a room. It is the sanctuary where the mind rests, the body rejuvenates, and the soul reconnects with its deepest self. It is a place of vulnerability, intimacy, and transformation. Every night as we surrender to sleep, our energy becomes more receptive, more sensitive, and more aligned with the unseen forces that surround us. This is why women, with an understanding rooted in ancient wisdom, place salt in specific areas of the bedroom, not as a ritual of superstition, but as a conscious act of energy cleansing, protection, and restoration. Sleep is sacred. It is during sleep that the body repairs itself, the mind processes, experiences, and the spirit recalibrates. Yet, in modern life, this sacred process is often disrupted. Stress, unresolved conflicts, negative energy from the outside world, or even subtle arguments between loved ones can linger in the bedroom, disturbing rest and weakening the harmony of relationships. Salt, in this context, becomes a guardian of the space. It absorbs negative energy, neutralizes tension, and creates a sanctuary of peace and calm. Women who understand this often place small bowls of salt in the corners of the bedroom. The corners are significant because energy tends to stagnate there. Without circulation, negativity can accumulate and disturb the delicate balance required for restful sleep and harmonious interactions. The salt acts like a magnet, pulling the stagnant energy out, purifying the space, and ensuring that the room maintains a steady flow of positive energy. But the power of salt goes beyond this energy cleansing. It subtly affects relationships. The bedroom is not only where we sleep, it is where intimacy is expressed, where emotional bonds are deepened, where trust and connection flourish. If the energy in the room is heavy or tense, it can unconsciously impact these dynamics. Couples may feel unexplained irritability, emotional distance, or difficulty connecting. By placing salt in the bedroom, women create an environment that fosters emotional clarity, calm, and openness. The energy becomes more supportive of love, empathy, and mutual understanding. The act of placing salt is also intentional. It is a conscious recognition of the sacredness of the bedroom, an acknowledgement that this space is worthy of protection and care. When a woman carefully chooses where to place salt, she is sending a message to herself and to the universe. This space is my sanctuary. Here peace and love are cultivated. Here negative forces have no place. Intention is as important as the physical act itself. Energy responds not just to physical barriers, but to conscious awareness. Some women even combine this practice with other subtle rituals, cleansing the room with natural light, opening windows to allow fresh energy to circulate, or performing quiet meditation before bed. Salt becomes part of a holistic approach to creating a sanctuary, ensuring that every night is a renewal of energy and every morning begins with clarity and balance. The benefits are profound. Sleep becomes deeper, more restorative. Dreams are clearer, often carrying guidance or insights that might otherwise be obscured by heavy energy. Emotional tension diminishes. Relationships thrive as the room itself becomes a supportive container for love, intimacy, and understanding. Visitors may not notice the salt, but they can feel the energy shift, the subtle warmth, calm, and comfort that radiates from a space intentionally purified. Moreover, placing salt in the bedroom encourages mindfulness and responsibility for one's environment. It is a daily reminder that energy matters, that the spaces we inhabit are living extensions of ourselves, and that small, consistent actions have cumulative power. Each grain of salt becomes a tiny guardian, silently maintaining balance, absorbing negativity, and allowing light to flourish. There is also a spiritual dimension. In many cultures, salt has long been recognized as a sacred purifier, a protector against unseen disturbances, a conduit of clarity. By placing it in the bedroom, women are aligning with a timeless understanding that energy flows where attention goes, that sacred spaces are maintained through conscious action, and that the care of one's environment reflects the care of one's soul. The practice of replacing the salt is equally important. Just as the bedroom is used nightly and accumulates physical dust and residues, it also accumulates energetic debris. Women who replace the salt regularly, often every few weeks, or when tension feels heavier than usual, are ensuring that the space remains continuously supportive. This cycle of cleansing, renewal, and intention creates a rhythm in the home that echoes in every aspect of life: clarity of mind, emotional balance, and strengthened relationships. Ultimately, the bedroom is not just a room, it is a sacred vessel for rest, rejuvenation, and connection. Salt is not just a mineral. It is a tool, a teacher, a silent protector. Its presence allows the subtle energies of the home to flow freely, restoring balance to the mind, body, and spirit. And the act of placing it, simple though it may seem, is a profound practice of awareness, intention, and care. So, the next time you enter your bedroom, take a moment to observe its energy. Is it heavy? Is it restless? Are there tensions lingering from the day? Then, quietly, place salt in the corners. Watch as the room transforms, not through noise, not through drama, but through quiet, consistent purification. Let your sleep deepen, let your relationships flourish, let your sanctuary truly become a place of peace. Remember, true protection and restoration do not always come in grand gestures. They come in small, intentional acts carried out with mindfulness. Salt in the bedroom is one of those acts, a simple, powerful, and ancient practice that transforms not just the space but the lives of those who inhabit it. The living room is the heart of social energy in the home. It is where family gathers, where laughter resonates, where conversations unfold, and where guests are welcomed. This space carries immense vibrational weight, as it not only hosts the household's daily life, but also absorbs energies from every visitor who enters. This is why women with wisdom handed down through generations place salt in the living room not just as a decorative element, but as a powerful tool to harmonize energy, protect relationships, and maintain balance in the heart of the home. Every home carries an energetic signature. The living room, by its nature, is one of the most dynamic areas. Energy flows in from outside sources, neighbors, visitors, events, even distant conflicts that manifest in subtle ways. Each conversation, each laughter, each disagreement leaves an imprint. If left unattended, the energy can accumulate, stagnate, and subtly affect the harmony of the household. Salt, in this context, becomes a silent moderator. Its presence absorbs tension, neutralizes negative vibrations, and restores balance. When placed in the living room, salt does more than just cleanse, it creates an atmosphere of calm, peace, and openness. Imagine walking into a space where energy is stagnant, conversations feel heavy, emotions are easily triggered, and even joy feels muted. Now imagine the same room after the presence of salt has done its quiet work. The air feels lighter, interactions flow more naturally, and laughter seems to come more easily. This transformation, though invisible, is tangible in the experience of those who inhabit the space. Women often place salt in strategic corners near windows or on shelves where energy tends to accumulate. The corners of the living room are especially significant because corners are natural energy traps. Negative energy, unresolved tension, or subtle discord can linger there. Salt acts like a sponge, absorbing these stagnant vibrations and ensuring that the flow of energy remains harmonious. Near windows, salt helps purify incoming energy from the outside, ensuring that only positive vibrations enter the space. On shelves, it maintains the purity of objects, reinforcing the home's overall energetic balance. Beyond the protective qualities, salt in the living room fosters connection. This is the space where family members interact daily, where bonds are reinforced, and where relationships are nurtured. By maintaining a purified and balanced environment, the living room becomes a safe space for communication and emotional expression. People feel more at ease. Arguments dissolve more quickly. Understanding and empathy arise naturally. Salt, in its quiet way, acts as a catalyst for emotional harmony. It is important to note that the act of placing salt is intentional. Women who engage in this practice do so with mindfulness, understanding that energy responds to awareness. They do not simply scatter grains randomly. They place them thoughtfully, often with a small ritual of gratitude or a silent affirmation. May this space remain harmonious. May energy flow freely. May all who enter feel welcome, loved, and safe. The combination of intention and action amplifies the effectiveness of this simple practice, creating an environment where balance and positivity are naturally sustained. The living room also hosts guests. Every visitor brings their own energy, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously. A guest may carry stress, negativity, or unresolved emotions. When these energies interact with the home, they can subtly affect the household's overall harmony. Salt, strategically placed, absorbs these incoming vibrations, ensuring that the energy of the home remains stable. Guests leave without leaving residual tension. Conversations feel lighter, laughter comes easier, and the home retains its warmth and serenity. Another profound aspect is the psychological impact. When family members see that the living room is intentionally cared for, not just physically but energetically, they feel more secure, more grounded, and more present. The environment itself becomes a teacher, reminding inhabitants to respect the energy of the space, to maintain harmony, and to approach each interaction with mindfulness. Over time, the simple presence of salt in the living room shapes the emotional intelligence of everyone who lives there, promoting patience, empathy, and understanding. Replacing the salt is part of the practice. Energy is dynamic, constantly changing. Just as a home requires cleaning to remove physical dust and clutter, it requires energetic cleansing to maintain vibrancy and clarity. Women often replace the salt every few weeks, sometimes accompanying it with a moment of reflection, meditation, or gratitude. This renewal not only clears the accumulated energy, but also reinforces the intention that the living room is a sacred space for harmony, connection, and joy. Spiritually, salt has long been recognized as a purifier, a protector, and a conduit of balance. Its crystals hold the capacity to absorb what is heavy, to transform stagnation, and to maintain equilibrium. By placing salt in the living room, women align with this ancient wisdom, harnessing a natural tool that promotes peace, clarity, and well-being in the household. It is a reminder that energy flows where attention goes and that conscious actions, no matter how small, create profound shifts over time. Ultimately, the living room is more than just a functional space, it is the emotional and social center of the home. Salt is more than just a mineral, it is a silent guardian, a harmonizer, and a subtle but powerful influence on the flow of life within the household. The practice of placing it in the living room is both an act of protection and a declaration. This home is a space of peace, balance, and connection. Here, love, laughter, and understanding flourish. So the next time you walk into your living room, take a moment to observe its energy. Notice how it feels. Notice the interactions that take place, and consider the subtle ways energy moves through the space. Then place salt intentionally with mindfulness and care. Watch as the atmosphere transforms, not through loud or dramatic measures, but through quiet, persistent purification. Let the living room become a true sanctuary for family, for guests, and for the heart of the home itself. Remember, harmony is cultivated through awareness and intention. Salt in the living room is a small act with immense impact, a daily practice that safeguards energy, nurtures relationships, and maintains the flow of positivity throughout the home. The bathroom is often overlooked in discussions about energy, yet it is one of the most important spaces in the home. It is a place of cleansing, release, and renewal. Here, water flows freely, carrying away not only physical impurities, but also the energetic residues of daily life. Yet, without conscious attention, bathrooms can become areas where energy stagnates, where negativity lingers, and where subtle imbalances accumulate. This is why women with deep wisdom and understanding of energetic hygiene place salt in bathrooms not just as a tradition, but as a powerful method to purify energy, protect the home, and maintain balance in daily life. Water is a carrier of energy. In the bathroom, water flows over the body, washing away dirt, sweat, and toxins. But it also interacts with the energy of the home. Showers, baths, and even the simple act of washing hands release emotions, stress, and tension. Without purification, these energies can linger, subtly affecting the atmosphere of the home and the well-being of its inhabitants. Salt acts as a natural purifier, absorbing stagnant or negative energy and ensuring that the water and the space itself remain clean not only physically but energetically. Women who practice placing salt in the bathroom often do so in corners, near drains, or in small bowls. These locations are not arbitrary. Corners tend to accumulate stagnant energy. Drains, while physically removing water and waste, can become points where energetic residue collects. By placing salt here, women ensure that the energy leaving the body is transformed and neutralized before it disperses into the home. Salt acts as a protective filter, cleansing both the physical and energetic flow, allowing the bathroom to remain a space of renewal rather than stagnation. The presence of salt in the bathroom also has a psychological and emotional impact. Bathrooms are private spaces where vulnerability is highest. We confront ourselves, our bodies, and our inner thoughts. Negative emotions, stress, and tension often surface here. Salt subtly transforms the energy, creating a space where emotional release is safer, where tensions dissipate more completely, and where the act of cleansing becomes truly restorative. A simple shower can shift from a mundane routine to a ritual of renewal, purification, and emotional clarity. Moreover, bathrooms are linked to hygiene, health, and well-being. Energetically, they reflect how we maintain balance in our lives. A cluttered or stagnant bathroom can subtly influence mood, relationships, and even physical health. By incorporating salt, women consciously maintain a flow of positive energy, ensuring that every act of cleansing is amplified, not only removing dirt and toxins, but also releasing mental and emotional burdens. This practice aligns the physical and energetic aspects of health, creating harmony within the self and within the home. Some women take the practice even further, combining salt with natural cleansing rituals. For instance, a pinch of salt may be added to bath water to enhance purification, or salt may be sprinkled in corners during a full moon to amplify energetic cleansing. These actions, performed with mindfulness, create a rhythm of renewal, connecting the daily acts of hygiene with deeper spiritual awareness. Salt becomes a tool not only for protection but also for intentional living, reminding us that every space and every action carries energetic significance. Bathrooms also have a symbolic connection to emotional release. Water in the bathroom represents the flow of life, the release of accumulated experiences, and the purification of both body and mind. Salt enhances this symbolic flow. It absorbs any negativity, clears lingering tensions, and ensures that the energy leaving the bathroom does not contaminate other areas of the home. By doing this, women maintain the sanctity of their personal and shared spaces, creating an environment that supports emotional resilience, clarity, and peace. Energy in the bathroom can affect other aspects of life if left unaddressed. Stagnant or heavy energy may manifest as irritability, fatigue, or subtle conflicts within the household. By placing salt, women actively maintain the vibrancy of their living environment. The practice reinforces a broader understanding that energy flows continuously and every space in the home contributes to the overall atmosphere and well-being of its inhabitants. Salt in this context becomes a quiet but powerful agent of harmony. The act of replacing the salt is as important as placing it. Energy accumulates and evolves over time. By regularly renewing the salt, women ensure that the space remains energetically vibrant. This regular maintenance reflects a mindful approach to life, one in which attention to subtle details produces profound effects. A clean, energetically balanced bathroom contributes not only to personal hygiene but also to mental clarity, emotional stability, and the harmonious energy of the entire home. Spiritually, salt has long been regarded as a sacred element, a purifier, and a protector. Its crystals hold the ability to absorb what is heavy, to neutralize what is stagnant, and to transform energy in subtle yet powerful ways. By placing salt in the bathroom, women honor this wisdom, creating a space that is both physically clean and energetically aligned. It is a practice of intention, awareness, and care, an acknowledgement that even the smallest details in a home can have a significant impact on life, health, and relationships. Ultimately, the bathroom is not just a functional space. It is a place of cleansing, renewal, and transformation. Salt is not just a mineral, it is a guardian, a purifier, and a subtle amplifier of positive energy. The practice of placing it in the bathroom ensures that water remains pure, energy flows freely, and emotional and physical well-being are supported consistently. It is a small act with immense impact, a ritual of awareness that transforms ordinary spaces into sacred sanctuaries. So when you enter your bathroom, consider the energy present, observe the atmosphere, notice any heaviness, and place salt intentionally in corners, near drains or in small bowls. Watch as the space transforms quietly, silently, yet powerfully. Let every act of cleansing become an act of spiritual and energetic purification. Allow your home to remain a sanctuary of balance, health, and positive energy. And remember, the smallest intentional acts often carry the most profound influence on our lives and the lives of those we love.